Representative Nelson, if you would just allow me to just do one little thing. Members of the committee, we are very honored today to have a very special guest with us. Actually, I got my political start on the shoulders of this man. He encouraged me to actually run for the state senate when I was a student at Southern University. And he actually put me on the national stage when in 1984 when he ran for president of the United States of America. That was my first time being on any kind of stage. And he put me on this big old stage, and I was his delegate, and I spoke on no first use of nuclear weapons. I had no idea, Reverend, what I was talking about. They gave me this big old script, and I just read it, and people started shouting and all of that. If you move those, the chair, and Ron Brown was his campaign manager, and they gave me this little, and I had to read it, and I was speaking on a very important topic I'll learn afterwards. But he's here today because his granddaughter is graduating from Tulane University. And on Saturday, he's going to be at Tulane to see his granddaughter graduate. And he came to have a little press conference with the caucus, and I wasn't able to make it. But education has always been important to him, and he wanted to stop by and just say a few words to the Education Committee. Reverend Jackson, thank you so very much. I'm here today chairing this committee because of you, and I really thank you. You inspired me to get into this stuff called politics. I never had any idea. Nobody in my family ever, got into this stuff. And I was inspired by you. And you taught me how to be tough enough to fight, tender enough to cry, human enough to make mistakes, humble enough to admit them, strong enough to absorb the pain, but resilient enough to bounce back and keep on moving. And I just want to thank you for that, sir.
I want to say to the committee hello today, and I want to thank you for allowing me to say something. I'm on my way to get some catfish right now. I'm hanging around you guys very long. Let me say, education matters. This state has a shameful record, frankly. One of the factors in the state's in poverty. You think the race line matters, the poverty line matters too. One side is sunny, one side is shady. Children in poverty begin to dream poor dreams. The poverty hopes. It's a subject to be exploited. That boy killed the people in Buffalo. Poverty-stricken mind. Something was wrong with him. Sick, but must be held responsible, accountable for how he uses sickness. He must get well. Racism is a disease that's spreading into our culture. Racism is a belief that you're superior to somebody because of your birthright. That is unscientific, ungodly, and immoral. Skin worship, skin idolatry. That is ungodly, and ungodly are not so. There's some moral obligation to overcome that sickness. You should be running for governor now. Yes, sir. You're all the credentials. You're just not white. And that's not good for us. Robinson, they should be led by those children. When Louisiana plays, LSU plays, Alabama in the big game, it's uniform color, not skin color. Where it ought to be. LSU, purple and gold, and Clemson, red and white. And we pull up our guys. I see when Alabama plays a big game, I see they're in the stands crying. When their guys win, those boys go home. Parents are facing gerrymandering and taking them out of office. You're taking out to Congress not because of lack of character, lack of work. Somebody drew you out to Congress. We deserve better than that. We just left Arkansas where 7% of the military has been rejected. You remember 7% of the military, those serving in the service right now. Those boys said they're voting absentee from the military. They can't vote. in the state, 80,000 people that working poor, work every day in poverty. Your sons have been voting against $15 minimum wage. I mean, the people voting against minimum wage don't represent Louisiana, not really. The mass of the people. So you have me, I had to tell you that, and say, all of you, we can't Trump's madness. Poor people cannot imitate corrupt rich people, not prosper. We can't go that way. The election was won last year by Biden. We should accept that as Americans. Remember when Al Gore ran in 2000? They stopped the vote on Tuesday night because of state law. The Supreme Court let states' rights determine the election. Bush was 537 votes ahead. The valid votes wasn't counted. The valid counted 27,000 Democrats, most of the black unregistered. The votes were not counted. States' rights will set us back another 50 years. We were from slavery to segregation, this is the right to vote. We've been making progress. I look at the LSU play in the big basketball and football game and track. We're excited about what our children are doing for us. They win the game, they have grace, they lose it with dignity. That's a big thing. Why do the kids fight so hard on the football field? And then at the end of the game, I saw Golden State and the Grizzlies, they're playing, they're hugging each other, it's all over. Losers didn't feel cheated. One didn't feel arrogant, grateful. What's the rules of justice? When the playing field is even, rules of public, goals clear, river fair. It's full transparent and you inherit the points. Playing field even, rules of public, goals clear, river fair, score transparent, and no inherent points. Those rules should apply to everyday life. Some of our racism has justified church. Jesus said something about let one another as I love you. That's imperative. Not in power. Love you one another. We can't be afraid to use the word love in politics. Let's love each other like love. I treat people you love, you behave a certain kind of way. If not let infidels come up in our midst and break up our union. Those are the great states, an endowed state. Or rather, in agricultural land, you're an endowed state. There's so many rich people in the state to be so poor. The state's too poor to be so wealthy for a few. And so I urge you today to fight for education. These children need it. They'll be better citizens if they're educated. They make more money, they spend more money, if they're educated. Strong minds bring strong change. I challenge you today. As committed and beyond party lines. I said one guy, Alexander, Gil Sales was so great as a football player, the day he was hurt. Stopped every game in the NFL, and so Gil Sales just got hurt. He was just that great. The guy here was Alexander from San Francisco. There was a Rainbow meeting in not long ago, 3 or 4 years ago now. He said he was hurt. He had heard Gil Sales. What really hurt him, they playing football and say every day they go by, see other kids play. One of the kids had it all. He had the move, speed, the Lord J. Simpson, he had all that stuff. So he said he embraced the kid and said he followed him for a while and he dropped him. Later on, his mother and his two sisters were killed by some drug addicts, drug users, pushers. He said he was going to court to see who killed his mama. So he was going to kill him. He came prepared to hurt him, take him out. He prepared to kill him. Determined to do that. He looked up and the boy that he had turned away from killed his parents, his mother and sisters. Didn't have any education, had no background, no sense of religious culture. He was ignorant, he was mentally ill. And so we cannot be in a society that's developed except mental illness as a standard. If you love your skin when you love Jesus, you're mentally ill. When you love truth, you choose truth over science and infidelity over religion, something wrong with you. And so that's why you ought to run for governor, Senator. Because you're qualified. You're qualified. And I want to thank you.
Thank you, Reverend.
And I want to thank you for letting me say this to you. I want to press the carrot. Say I'm nominating Cliff, Senator. You're Senator and Governor, not say Senator. You're Senator and Governor. And y'all quit pulling on me. I got to go.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend, for coming. Good seeing you. Good seeing you.
You get in more trouble, huh?
Yeah, you got me in more trouble. Good seeing you. Hope to see you Saturday. Apologize for me. Representative Nelson. You gotta follow the champ now.
Yeah, I had Reverend Jackson down here in support of my bills. I got some more he can come help out on too.
Reverend, it's so good to see you. Every word I said, I really mean it. This guy really have had a lasting impression on my life, and he really, really did gave me my first chance in politics, and I really appreciate it.